Hello. Hello. Hello.
Venru22 with the 3-month tier 1 sub. Boopin the Zeeb Snootin, 3.
Thank you for the 3 months. Blah, 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 blah. Nose, meh, brr, 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 brr. Also, am I getting like a... What do you call it when you have like too much sugar and your tongue does that weird bumpy thing? Can we get much higher? So high. Ah,
Thank you Kobe Yoshi for the 22-month tier 1 sub.
Can we get much higher? Sugar bumpy? I feel like there's got to be a more like mature term than sugar bumpies. I feel like there's a better term than sugar bumpies, I'm sorry to say, chat. Like, I thought I had some, like, you know, I thought I had some well-respectable sort of viewers in my chat. Alright. Alrighty, so congratulations, Code, for being first into the chat. It's been a long time. I hope you're doing all right. I know I was actually, chat doesn't know this, but I was already talking to you, like, you know, today, because you were doing all kinds of fun little streaming stuff. Eee! Eee! I'll shout them out because they'll do their streaming thingy-majiggy at some point in the future again after getting control of their account again. So there's that. Hendrix just being all chucklies. All right, so we got Code, we got Bone, we got Hendrix, we got Benru, we got Alvirus. Hey, we got Hawaiian Pizza as well. Hi there, Hawaiian Pizza. Good to have you again. Sleep is calling. Ah, I see. Is that how it is, Bone? Fair enough. If you need to get some sleep, you need to get some sleep. I'm not going to try and, like, convince you to, like, you know, go into it, like, you know, hard or anything like that. Thank you for the Hyper Himbo, Alvirius. I greatly appreciate it. I am going to need it for this game that I am going to be going through this month. I'm going to try and get through this before Baldur's Gate 3 comes out, because quite honestly, I want to play Baldur's Gate 3. I don't think there's any important information I need to learn from Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 in order to enjoy Baldur's Gate 3, especially since I haven't even played like Divinity's Original Sin 2 or anything like that from the studio that's currently making Baldur's Gate 3. You added it as redeem. Yes, I added the wheelchair thingy-majiggy as a redeem. Where is my wheelchair thingy-majiggy? It's right.
You should also get Dark Alliance 1 and 2.
I'm not probably not going to be playing the Dark Alliance ones, not unless those are like really quick and easy ones. What actually? Fun fact, chat. One of the first Dungeons and Dragons games I played was the Dungeons and Dragons on the Xbox, which was Dungeons and Dragons Heroes. That one was interesting. That one isn't your, that isn't your turn-based like on a grid or anything like that. Isometric view. Actually no, it is an isometric view, but you're
20 squats.
It's just an action adventure by Atari. And they want me doing the squats. Hey! You stole my shirt code. You stole my shirt. What are you doing with it? You're gonna need to give it back at some point.
Bone Masked Dog paid me to say they are called lie bumps, transient lingual papillitis.
Transient lingual papillitis, lie bumps. Ah, okay. Maybe I've been lying too much. Maybe that's the problem. It's not going to be like the copious amounts of Coca-Cola. I don't know if that did. Is that not? Hang on. So there's 2, there's 3, there's 4, and then 5 is. I am going to need to fix this camera. Hang on a second. Because this isn't a himbo camera. We need to get much closer than this. Hang on a second. Miscellaneous camera. It's camera 3 we need to adjust. There we go. Set position. Try and keep it relatively centered. There we go. So if we are like here, and then here, and then he... What the what? Hang on. Default goes to default. Camera 1 goes to 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's why. There we go. For some reason, it was going to camera 6 for some reason. But now we're good. All right. 20 squats. Here we go. I can do these without... Yes, I saw it. There's no more nipples, chat. No, not the lever, Avalon! Not the lever! Oh. You had to do it when I didn't have my shirt and I was away from my desk and I couldn't defend myself. You're taking advantage of me. Don't you keck W me. I am vulnerable. I don't have my shirt. I just have my massive pecs and 6-pack for myself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Why no nips? I'll explain that shortly. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Thank you for the 20 squats, Bone. Keck those W's. You keck some W's. Or else you're going to be getting hit with some of these L's. Hang on. You're going to be hit with some of these L's. Alrighty. Whew. Thank you for the 20 squats, Bone. Alright, where was I in my train of thought? I had to explain something. I'm pretty sure I had to explain something. Alright, but yeah, there's no more nipples. Belly bones and femurs. No belly bones. There's no more nipples. The reason for this is because like the reason I put nipples on in the first place was kind of reactionary in a way, where I was seeing some, male VTubers like being able to be in stream, and I thought I had to be like extra sensitive about what my VTuber could be like with the nipples and what have you. But then there were some VTubers where it was like they were showing off nipple piercing as well, and there was a good part of me that was like, well, hang on, that doesn't seem, if they're getting like no repercussions because of that, then maybe there's no problem with me putting out like my nipples, that the ones that Wolk made all that time ago. And so I put those on, but while there might not have been like an initial backlash from Twitch on it, there was just the fact that, I'm not 100% comfortable showing off my nipples on stream all the time like this. What started off as like a hell yeah, free the nipple moment for me, slowly started becoming a issue of like, oh, I'm showing off my nipples to chat very quickly, and they're very prominent nipples as well. They're not like just, oh, nipples on a Ken doll or something like that, where you kind of have to be like very, like you have to like properly notice them and such. Whereas with nipples on this character here, you very much know their nipples. They're very prominent, and some people would argue that they're, a lot more, what's the phrase I'm looking for? A lot more sexually like a stronger sexual reference to them than nipples. Explicit. There you go. They're a lot more explicit than, the normal male nipples you'd see on other VTubers. So after a while, I started getting a little bit embarrassed by it, because, sure, I was fine doing not safe for work stuff on Twitter or discussions and what have you, but there came a point where, I'm doing this thing on Twitch, and slowly there are some people who have met me in real life and have seen this, this Twitch stream either as a VTube model or, have actually sat there lurking for a while. One or two of them I was totally fine with, like, oh, they don't give a shit. They're probably blinking and they're missing it. But the more I started doing it, I was like, well, hang on. Is it maybe I'm doing behavior that's like they probably don't feel like, because I don't feel comfortable when the shirt got taken off and such like that. And I thought that was just a case of like, me playing up the whole, oh no, someone stole my shirt. But it became more the fact of, oh no, I don't want to be seen like with nipples presenting all the time and such. So I decided to, roll back, the texture change and such like that, and turn back on the thingy-majiggy to smooth the pecs. So now, because I'm still like, this is not what I look like IRL. This is not what most people can look like IRL as well, body shape wise, not zebra wise. I'm fairly sure there's very few people who actually look like this, white with black stripes and, super strong, massive pecs and what have you. But the whole like, massive chest, presenting nipples and such like that, not a common thing. So yeah, hence going back to the whole removal of like, the prominent looking nipple and the very explicit shape. So to this classic, a more classic zebra look, which I am a little more comfortable with, even when, shirt gets stolen within like the first 5 minutes of within the stream and what have you. So there's that. What else is on the brain? If more things crop, not looking at anyone in particular, code. Here's the thing: is that I very much am a follower of like the whole free nipple movement. I think there is like inherently an issue on like with the whole content creation and stuff on the internet where men can be topless and what have you, women can't be topless and such, and there's a very harsh repercussion for women presenting nipple or presenting anything like that. And meanwhile, men, we get like nothing, even if we were like absolutely topless and showing off like door knocker sort of nipple piercings and such. Like, I'm very much a supporter in trying to sort of even out the playing field field of like, you know, not having as harsh of a punishment for women, and also maybe at one point not being so, you know, fucking just, what's the word, hypocritical with the balancing when gender is involved. But having said that, I just wasn't 100% comfortable sticking to it, and I'm not gonna, like, you know, try and police anyone in, you know, whether or not they should look like this. I shouldn't have, like, you know, put the nipples on because other people had it on. And after all this, I'm not going to be, you know, going around. I'm not going to be, like, you know, commenting on, you know, if Code wants to do, like, you know, nipple piercings, or if Outcast wants to show their nipples all the time or such, because, you know, that's not my place. That's what they want to do. And, you know, so far it's they're allowed to do that. And I would, you know, just advocate for, you know, allowing women to do the same thing as well, because, you know, you most likely wouldn't. Yeah, and that's fine. So the point is the option is there for you without repercussions, and that's what I will be in support of, unless it was a good outfit. Yeah, there isn't a lot of like, if you ever need to do a costume thing, you're probably gonna make this like a little bit tricky, but Inosuke from Demon Slayer, he's the dude with the boar's head and like the jagged katana sword, and he has his made up beast form. Like, he's totally topless. So you could probably do like a costume thing where you just have, like, instead of the Yoshi head, you just have this random, like, just bug, like this fucking, like, you know, eyes pointing in two different directions, boar head. That'd be cool. Hi, Jason. Welcome to the stream. I saw you saying hello earlier. Hi. So yeah, that would be a cool one. I've not thought up of my Halloween costume for this year. I need to start thinking about it for sure. I need to start thinking like what it's going to be. So, because I've done Kratos last year. The year before, I just did like a funny, spooky skeleton, like grease paint on my zebra. So I need to have a think about what it's going to be for this year, especially since we're already in July. I need to put, you know, probably September, October into thinking whether it's going to be a, you know, a texture material change, or if I'm going to add in like an additional costume like I did with Kratos. You already got a good lineup of costumes with Angle. That's good. So he's redoing your yes, you've mentioned that. So I give you a shout out for this as well, because you're going to be doing a lot of changes to your PNG tuber. You could make the, like, because I don't know if you've streamed like during the time that you've, you know, sort of been underground from Twitter and Discord and such, but you could like, honestly, like, once you go through more of the PNG tuber redos with Angrel and such, like, I know so many people love model re-debuts and such. Those are always a cool, huge thing on Twitter. So you have a lot of changes and just to put towards your channel altogether. Yeah. Keep me posted. Keep peeps posted, because I know people will be interested in it. Hi there, Sky. Welcome to the stream. Alrighty then. Let's get into the game. This is the game. Ignore the spooky skull. Also, I need to stop the music in the background because there's already music we can choose. Pause this. This is Baldur's Gate. Now, everyone told me that this was a very harsh, difficult game. Like, I kind of understand because it's based off DnD 2nd edition rules, and I don't think they've, like, Dungeons and Dragons don't normally do a really good, like, sort of tutorial thing about learning the higher level statuses. So, for example, they'll tell you how to move, they'll tell you how to fight, they'll tell you how to lockpick, but they won't tell you about synergies, like flanking or you know, traps and such. Alrighty, so we're gonna go a new character. We're gonna be a man. Now, this is one of the fun things I've learned. You can submit a custom portrait. I just need to place the desirable thingy-majiggy into portraits, make sure it's named and such, make sure it's not bigger than Whatsamahuzi, and that it's a PNG. Ta-da! Look! It's me! I'm in the game! Scratchy, 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 scratchy. So, that is I had a piece of work done by Owl Lizard. Or Owl Lizard? Yeah, Owl. It's either Owl Lizard or Owl Lizard. They are, and they're a pretty cool artist. Now, I'm gonna be real with you. There's a lot of titties and big women on their Twitter account, so just be aware when you look up Owl Lizard, which is, hang on a sec. I'm pretty sure it's spelt like that. But one of the things what they do some pretty cool like medieval fantasy stuff as well. And they had like a cool like bulk discount thing going on. So what I did is I went and commissioned them for about 13 different pieces of art from them with a mixture of, you know, safe for work and not safe for work because, you know, they're a booba artist, and I went and got my zebra commissioned to look like the 13 different classes we had in D&D 5th edition. And this is the one I am picking for this game. Race. Humans give us the most classes, I believe. They are the most social and tolerant of races, excepting perhaps the halflings. Humans may advance any class and are the only race that can dual class. Humans may not multi-class. Meanwhile, dwarf gets a bonus saving throw to paralysis, poisons, and deaths against rods, staffs, and wands, and against spells with additional bonuses based on constitution. They've got dark vision. They get a 10% to opening locks, a 15% to finding traps, a 5% to detecting illusions, 10% to setting traps, +1 constitution, -1 dexterity, -2 charisma. Alright, we're gonna go with dwarf. Now, I know normally I would probably go a fighter, but I'm gonna go as actually, can I go as both? This character can use the abilities of a fighter and a cleric, though weapons are restricted to only those allowed by the cleric. Oh, wait. And a thief, though they cannot use their thieving skills while wearing more than studded armor. They may specialize in, but not master, any weapon they use. May distribute 25 points per level into thieving abilities, open lock, pickpocket, find traps, move silently, hide in shadows, detect illusions, set traps. Start with a base score of 10% in locks, 5 in traps, 15 in pickpockets. And because they're a dwarf, they get even more. Backstab for increased damage. We are most likely going to go for this because if we can backstab, then that's, you know, big damage. May use the set snare ability once per day, gaining 1 use of level 1 and additional use every 5 levels thereafter. Setting a trap in the chosen 1d6. Anything but lawful good, that's fine. Prerequisites for dual classing. Dexterity, that's fine. Is there an advantage to being an assassin? +1 bonus to hit and damage rolls. Backstab reaches ×7 multiplier instead of capping at ×5. This cap is not reached until higher levels, which can only be attained in Baldur's Gate 2. You may use the poison thingy-majiggy. Alright. Bounty Hunter, meanwhile, gets... setting traps. They may use the set special snare to gain 1 use and additional use every something or other levels. May only distribute 20 points per level among thief skills. Swashbuckler gets a +1 to bonus to armor class, plus an additional 1 every 5 levels. +1 bonus to hit and damage roll every 5 levels. They may specialize 2 slots in any melee weapon, and they can place 3 slots into two-handed style. They may not use the backstab ability. I'm gonna stick to thief, just because that's a nice little balance across the things. Alignment, we're just gonna be neutral good. We're not gonna be any crazy, because the alignment system doesn't really do that much for D&D other than the restrictions on your deity. Ah! There's a fun little trick to this, chat. Alrighty. I can press this button as many times as I want. Nope, I missed 84. Okay, keep an eye on 84. So far, god damn it, I missed the 85. I think the highest we can get is 90. Raid? A raid from who? Hello? What? Zebby Heppy, hi, welcome to the stream. I didn't realize you were playing Baldur's Gate as well. Welcome to the stream, everyone. My name is Grant. I'm a variety himbo streamer, as you can see with my shirt written, and I am going through Baldur's Gate, the same game that Zebby went through. How are you finding it? I just started, and I'm doing the fun nonsense that people do not tell you about Dungeons and Dragons, which is manipulating the role in my favor. That's how all these tabletop games go, is you're just manipulating the roles in your favor. Howdy. Alright, so 84 was like my highest roll so far. Come on. Am I not gonna luck into like an 85 or anything like that? Come on. Is this the OG or the enhanced version? It looks a little different from the enhanced. This is the enhanced. You got 90? Aw, so can you... I'm currently I'm specking out to a dwarf thief is what I'm going for right now. So I'm not too sure if I can get to 90. All right, that's 85. I almost went over 85. How long were you on this stream, on this screen before you got to 90, I wonder? Everyone thinks that D&D... 86... 80, come on. Everyone thinks D&D is like fun playing with friends. God! Oh wait, no, we already had 86, so... Everyone thinks it's like playing with friends, being a horny bard, being like, you know, a backstabby rogue that's just gonna, you know, give the arguments of, oh, but it would be what my character would do. That's not the D&D experience. The D&D experience is looking at the dice roll and going, I don't like that, we're doing it again. You finish your character after an hour and 40 minutes? Chat, do you want me doing this for another hour? Let's see. Come on. If I can get to like 88 or 89, I think I would be okay then.
Grant, I will give you a challenge, 10 more rolls, and then you need to choose.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright, recall. We're going with 86. Alrighty, first things first. Fuck that wisdom. And put it... We're gonna put it into... Wait, 17's... Damn it, 17's the highest I can... Oh, that's why the hunter can... The human can go up to 18, but... Oh, but the strength can go up to 18 here. Dexterity can only go up to 17. Constitution can go up to 19. A character with an intelligence score of 8 or less is illiterate and cannot use scrolls or use wands. Let's just go with a flat 10. And then... Charisma will make it just a little bit higher. We'll make it a 12 because I get hit with a -1. He was reading all the info out loud though, since you hadn't any prior experience in D&D. Not to worry. I have a little bit of experience in D&D, but that was a few years ago, and that was only for 3.5 and 5th edition. This is not 3.5 or 5th edition. This is 2nd edition, which is arguably one of the worst editions that we have to play D&D. 4th edition doesn't exist in Baldur's Gate 8 yet, so they don't know what's coming to them. Constitution. I am never going to make Constitution a dump stat, okay? I refuse to... I refuse to leave Constitution as a dump stat. 18 Strength, 17 Dexterity, 19 Constitution, 10 Wisdom and Intelligence with a 12 in Charisma. we're going to be a fairly strong sort of rogue. Wait, hang on. Unless D&D 2nd edition. Thief handbook. There we go. Give me a second. I need to double check the Thieves handbook. Give me a minute. Ding, 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 ding. Proficiencies. Archetypes. Fast talking modifiers are based off of your wisdom. Yep, fair. Endurance is 2 slots based off of your con. Boating is wisdom? What? Okay, tracking, wisdom, survival, intelligence, reading and writing is also intelligence. Yep, no, fair. Trailing is a dexterity thing. Voice mimicry is a charisma thing. Dwarf, yep, cool, awesome. Don't need to worry about all that. Yeah. I added in, did you do like a custom image thingy for yours, Zebi? Alrighty, we got 2 skills we can put in. We're gonna go with the short sword because we're doing nonsense. I'm treating this like, you know, a game of now you should have. I think you can edit your like those little things about your character after you started the game at the very least. All right, now does dagger have? Let's see. So if you go for a master, which is 3 shots, you get a +3 to hit and 3 to damage. What about short sword? Master is the same sort of thing. Okay, so all right. Let's see. 2-handed sword and shield, single weapon. The wielder gets a -1 to AC and inflicts critical damage on all attack rolls of 19 and 20. All right. We're gonna go with the single weapon, so then that way I'm able with my short sword just going stab. Now skills. Let's see. Hide in the shadows. Setting traps. Moving silently. Finding traps. Opening lock picks. All right. We're gonna put 10 here, 5 here, and 5 into the detect illusions, just in case of any, like, secret walls or some shit. Appearance. We're gonna go with a nice, red beard. Is this red? That's not exactly the red I want, so we're gonna go with, this red, and then that's an okay skin. We're gonna go with a purple shirt. There we go, purple. You went the assassin human with a chaotic neutral for your build. Probably not the most ideal for... You're going insane? I don't know much about this game, but I have heard from plenty of people that it is a very difficult game to get into. It's D&D 2nd edition, so I knew I was gonna have some troubles. I'm not gonna be doing insane. I don't know why you're doing insane. Alright, and then... There we go. So we're gonna go, like, purple and gold. What does this sound like?
Onward!
All will die. Your life shall be mine.
Death to you all! Your life ends here.
Time for a bit of the rough and tumble.
You got this coming!
Let's give them a right thrashing.
Get over here. Right then. Oh, that's about enough. You don't want my hands getting idle.
Ha! At last. I grow weak.
Have at you! Batter them into bloody rubbish! Ah!
Wait, number 6.
Get over here. Right then. I'm in charge.
Let's give them a right thrashing.
You got this coming!
If nobody else is gonna step up, why not? Ready for that nap any time now. What's it gonna take to get a little action around here? Oh, that one. Yeah? What do you want? Huh?
I'm gonna go with 4. GrantZeebs. Done. Accept. I'm gonna go for easy. I'm not gonna go insane. I feel like that's a bit dumb. I want to try and get through this story, you know, as quickly as I can. I don't want to, like, you know, I don't need to fuck around with, you know, oh, maybe there's a secret ending with the hard difficulty. There isn't. This is a game from the 1990s. There isn't that much of an interest in, you know, just making the game harder for myself.
That rise from the Sword Coast, the citadel of Candlekeep houses the finest and most comprehensive collection of writings on the face of Farron. It is an imposing fortress, kept in strict isolation from the intrigues that occasionally plague the rest of the Forgotten Realms. It is secluded, highly regimented, and it is home. Within these hallowed halls of knowledge,
are the people in the realm calling it the Forgotten Realm?
You have spent most of your 20 years of life within this.
Or are we just knowing it as Forgotten Realm? Hi there, Faded Fox. So welcome to the stream.
Of the sage
welcome to the stream.
Acting as your father, he has raised you on 1,000 tales of heroes and monsters, lovers and infidels, battles and tragedies. However, one story was always left untold, that of your true heritage. You have been
our true
told
heritage?
that you are an orphan, but your past is largely unknown. Lately, Gorion has been growing distant from you, as if some grave matter weighs heavily on his heart. You have asked about his concerns as gently as possible, but your queries have been in vain. Your sole comfort.
Are you trying to speed through both games?
And a wise man. And
correct.
You know he will tell you when the time is right.
I'm trying to speed through these things.
His silence is troubling, and you cannot help but feel.
Okay, so our mentor, something or rather, wants us to do something.
Top of my to-do list.
All right, he wants us to do something. We go into here.
Top of my to-do list.
Top of my to-do list.
My hotel's as clean as an elven arse.
I'm sorry, what did he say? Oh, I can't select out of it and then... Well, hello there, young man. Come to visit your old pal Winthrop, have we? Well, don't forget the 10,000 gold piece book entrance fee, as per Candlekeep's custom, don't you know? I reckon he's being facetious. Har! Just having a bit of fun with ye, my friend. Them monks be walking around with poles in their nethers, but you are always welcome here in my sight. Gorion did well by you, he did. So is there anything I can do for you? Some drinks, a room to sleep, or anything to buy? Sure, what do you have?
You'd like Neverwinter Nights games.
Okay, I got 50 gold, and I can get myself... a short bow. Oh my god, I can steal. Alright, hang on. We're gonna try this.
I should have joined the army.
Oh no! Stealing within the sanctity of Candlekeep? This is blasphemy of the highest order. There is only one way that you can make this up. Give us all the gold you have upon your person so that it may be used to benefit the library. I don't have any gold. Can't we just forgive and forget? Thieving scoundrel, not even your esteemed father can save you from your just punishment. Oh, shit. Can you know...
That one's gonna leave him...
Okay. I need to do my 20 squats real quick. Hang on a sec. Actual D&D lore. Yes, the people call it the Forgotten Realms due to it being the realm the gods have left behind as a more complete realm. Oh! So that's why it's called the Forgotten Realms. Alright. Also, I did try playing this like a little bit sooner, hence why you see like a quick save of the tutorial and then this 1 hour prologue. Alright. So I'll delete this one and then load this guy.
Way ahead of you, boss.
Way ahead of you, boss.
Hello, child.
Hello,
Shall we continue your
I've been instructed to tell you about the basic mechanic. I've already learned about this mechanical shit, okay? No, nothing. I'm moving on. I already know about the mechanical nonsense. All right, here we go. You dead. I won't be dead this time. All right, note to self, we can't steal shit. Hello, child. All right, here we go. Avalon, you're old, aren't you? Isn't that what you say to everyone that tries to, like, go into, you know, your sword fighting thing after D&D? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Forget about it. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Alrighty. At least you didn't call me old.
Yeah, I'll get right on that.
Yeah, I'll get... Alright, what does he say?
My hotel's as clean as an elven arse.
My hotel is clean as an elven arse. Amazing. How he doesn't get more customers, I will never know. Alright, so we'll buy one of those. And... I'm pretty sure I'm able to wear... Alright, so studded leather is 35. Yeah, we'll go with studded leather. Giving us 5 gold left. So we'll go for some fire wine. Iron's so scarce these days. You'd think it was as valuable as gold. Not a good thing, not a good thing at all. Alrighty, so... Alright, so we now have an armor class of 3. Dexterity -3. Wait, what? What? What's going... What's with my stats? Hang on. Okay, I haven't played D&D 2, but why is the shield 3? Okay, 8 hit points. Is that my armor class? Is my armor class 19 because of the dexterity and the strength? Second edition AC being low is... Wait, 3 is my 8... Why is my armor class 3? The fuck? Oh, that makes no sense. Oh, can I talk to you?
Child.
How do I travel between areas on the world? To leave the area that you're in, select the ground, all the edge. If you can reach it, the world map will appear, suing it. Yep, okay, cool. How do I search? How do I pick up items off the ground? Select the pile of loot. A limbo will show you. You can take on the left and your general on the right. Select icons you wish, and then they'll be transferred to your backpack. Activate the quick loot system by selecting the red diamond at the left side of the screen, bottom action bar. This displays a scrolling list of all items on the ground nearby. Selecting... Okay. Neat.
It's hard to find decent folk nowadays.
It's hard to find decent folk. Ah, yes. I'm back within the hallowed halls of Candlekeep. With his iron crisis upon us, the trip from Baragos was more hazardous than I care to relate. You're Gorion's ward, aren't you? My, you have come in your own, if you would permit an old man jealous of youth to say so. I left an identity scroll with Cookie for Luna! Hi, Luna! We're playing a D&D game. I left an identity scroll with Teth Toril in the inner grounds. He should be done examining it by now, so if you could fetch it for me, I would be grateful. Okay, cool. What's happening in here?
No time to chit-chat.
Step up to the heat, young one. You'll need a good fire to warm the chill stares of those monks. Most inhospitable they are. Isn't that so, lovely? Oh, yes, darling. They are the most standoffish. Colorful. Dear, perhaps we could dress a little more plainly to fit in? It's worth a try, my dear. Although our clothes may only be the half of it, they certainly couldn't react any worse than they have. I thank you for the suggestion, GrantZeebs, and for putting it tactfully. Good eye to you. Alright, can I go up these stairs? Yes, I can go up these stairs. Ooh, I can...
Way ahead of you, boss.
Yes, please. Anyone in here? Nope. Yeah! Thank you. Ooh. Locked. Potion of clarity and some gold. Yes, please. The advantages of being a thief in this game. Alright, let's see. What's this? Locked. Can I just do it again? Nope. Probably one of those, like, try once and you fail things. Alright. I'm not gonna, like, do it in front of people. You can try lockpicking multiple times if you fail the first time. I'm imagining that, like, it's probably, like, a really low chance, considering, like, my lockpicking is at 50 right now. So, you know, it's not low. Oh, hang on. Is there, like, a quick save button? Hang on a second. Save game. New save. An armor, infovision. Alright. Hello there. Oh, by means of the spell, the wizard creates a magical field of force that serves as if it were scale mail armor. It's not usable by anyone. Not usable by anyone in my group. Alright, shame. Ornate metal made of silver, gold, platinum, or other precious metals. Can I wear this? Oh my god, I can wear it. Hell yeah. Prevents feeble mind, confusion, fear, and charm for 1 hour. Alright, sounds good. Alright, cool. Nope, nothing in there. Q is the quick save, L is the quick load.
Top of my to-do list.
Uh-huh.
Hello there.
Hello. Hey, have you seen my copy of The History of Halruya? You know, I can't stand the constant shuffling of arthritic feet up in the library, so I thought I'd get a bit of a fresh air just east of here, and oh, I hate being so absent-minded. Please, if you find it, I really do need it back. Okay, east is this way. Nice. Cow. Cow. If I could... Can I zoom out? Yeah, I can zoom out further if I need to. What's this? The priest's quarters.
Hello?
Oh, goody goody. I've gone and found ye first. You are the ward of Goria, no doubt. His name is Shank. I do not recognize you. Who are you and what are you doing here? Who I am is unimportant, but who you are is very important, much so. I apologize for this dirty bit of business, but I must seek your death. A pity, I know, but it would seem your head is worth an exceptional amount to me. I'll kill you myself, and I need not share credit with anyone. Okay, wait, what's this? That's talking? Nope, so we're gonna... Can I... Stealth. Nope, it failed. Alright. Fuck you!
Top of my to-do list.
And I get myself a dagger for my troubles. Hell yeah. Does he have any... Ooh. We can check these boxes. Nothing in there. Cookie for that boy! How off... Who Othar be the vibing? I could not read anything you... I did not understand anything you wrote there. I am playing the Baldur's Gate by the 9 Divines. Look. If he wanted to if he wanted to live, he wouldn't have stabbed me. But he did. So he doesn't... Oh, wait, hang on, chest. The advantages of being a fucking... Nice. So much gear.
Way ahead of you, boss.
Oh. GrantZeebs, you cut yourself above the brow there. What is wrong, child? Something in your eyes? Tell me that something is very wrong indeed. It's nothing. One of the cats didn't like petting me. I'm alright, really. Yes, well, get what you need from the inn then. For Goran is desperate for you to be off. Alright, cool. Hello? Fildia left one of her books in here again. It's in the hay there, beside the cow. If you could run it over, then I got some... Yep, cool. Yep, that's her book. Alrighty. You know... She's like back over here somewhere. There they are. Cool. Old people talk. It is old people. My book. Oh, you remind me of Gorion when you grin like that. Raising you has been hard on him, I know. But he says it's a toil of love, a toil of destiny even. You must be a very special child indeed to draw such praise from a man of his silent nature. Here, take this little gem of mine. Maybe Winthrop will give you a little something for it. Nice.
Faboy_97 paid me to say ha 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 ha. Hey Grant, I have a joke. Why do fathers take an extra pair of socks when they go golfing?
Way ahead of you,
in
boss.
In case they get a hole in one. Ha 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 ha.
Gore iron. Is that how we're gonna say it? It's good to see you again as any other I would have laid eyes on. Make yourself as comfortable as you will. If you just ask. Cool. We are going to sell this Warhammer, and the Lynx Eye. Oh my god, the dagger is like worth nothing. How much? It costs 3 gold to get a dagger from you.
For the tier 1
Thank you for the sub.
Faboy_97.
Thank you for the sub, boy. Congratulations. You don't have to deal with advertisement, and you get to have all these. Wait, no, those are the follower emotes. All these fun little boys. Have you got a favorite yet? Alright, can I get anything else? We've got... We can get a club. We can get a short bow. I don't think a bow will help us. We can get bullets, a crossbow. We got rumors we can listen out for.
Pull the lever.
Ah! Damn it, no rumors.
Top of my to-do list.
Top of my to-do list. Alright, it was mentioned that, like, on the inner grounds to the east, that there was, something, or rather. Ads suck. Ads do suck. That's why I don't do, like, the pre-rolls anymore. I used to do, like, pre-roll ads, but I've stopped doing that because I don't really have that many people who are, like, regular followers, also subscribers, to, you know, not make it much of an issue for them and what have you. I understand where I'm at with peeps. I was in one of the great spires of the keep last night and saw the strangest sight. The horizon was aglow for a time, as though many a man carried torches in the distance. Usually there are only merchants on that path, though never at night. Bandits perhaps, but so many. Okay, that's not concerning at all.
Vistesboyox demands you drink.
Alrighty. Oh, water bottle, right there. Got it. Thank you for the drink. What's this? Barracks.
Yeah, I'll get right on that.
I should have joined the army.
What a mead-filled night. That hull is just too much. Poor Sap had to go man the gate this morning too. I don't know how he does it. What can I do for you anyway? Nothing. I was just wondering if you had any errands I could run. Errands? Yeah, actually. I need a quarrel of crossbow bolts. If you get some off of Winthrop at the inn, I'll reimburse you. Oh, very well. There'll be a few coin in it for you too, so you can stop giving me that look. I am glad that they are, you know...
Way ahead of you, boss.
They're at least gonna do more than just reimburse me for buying a, you know, crossbow bolts. So yeah, it will be what it will be. Meow, meow. There we go. All right.
Way ahead of you, boss.
Talk to you. Well, I have to go around. I just realized I have to go around the bench because I'm not tall enough to talk over the bench. Oh, that's hilarious. All right, I need to buy crossbow bolts. Okay, so I can buy a pack of 20. Yeah, I'm only gonna buy that. Should be okay for monies. What's this? Special abilities. Oh, that's if I wanted to. Alright, scroll all the way down here to
Top of my to-do list.
Top of my to-do list. Am I playing a dwarf? Yes. You know why? Because dwarfs are... They're argumentatively the best fantasy race you can pick. You know why? Because they have the benefits of being a fantasy race, in this case a dwarf, but they still have all the ingenuity of the humans, and more often than not, they get to be the, you know, the ingenuity of the humans. Here you are, you little money grubber. Put a few coin pieces in your purse. Thank you. I'm just gonna quick save. I'm gonna see what happens if I open a chest right in front of him. Nope. No.
I should have joined the army. I should have joined the army.
Okay.
Top of my to-do list.
So
Top of my to-do
they very much can't. What about orcs? You don't normally get an option of playing orcs, and normally you play half orcs as well. What's in here?
Yeah, I'll get right on that.
Name on it.
Hey there, you're Goran's little whelp, aren't you? Yeah, you match that description. You don't look so dangerous of me. And what business is that of yours? I'll make it my business if I please. Just thought I'd have me look at you for myself, but I puts a blade down the gullet. Someone seems to think you're trouble, so I'm gonna use your head for a ticket out of this gutter. I'm just a little street trash hood, they say, but I'll show them. You are going to have a very bad time. I don't know if they knew I was going to whip out a knife this soon into the match. Excuse me while I pick up this dagger. And I now have impunity in checking all the things I can open. No. Damn it. What's with these men trying to kill me? You're back with a Milo. Who the fuck gave me a sub? Bestest Boy gifted a sub
Way
to
ahead of
you.
you, boss.
What's this? Okay, I'm probably... That's a trick. That's probably a trick to get me to...
Our rules are very strict.
Soon be gone, will you? Gore Iron asked me to teach you a wit about the finer arts of mass combat if you leave. Can I pity your interest with it? Yes, I'd appreciate that. Cool. I think he wants me in here. You can't remember. Did you have VIP? No, I can't remember. Alrighty.
Way ahead of you, boss.
I need a swig of some strong
Yes, friend?
morbid
Yes, friend?
What's Osprey?
Hello?
Oh wait,
Yeah?
I can just
What do you want?
attack him
Top of
all
my
at once.
to-do list.
You got this coming! You got this coming!
Nice. I think I've had enough. Yeah. I've given myself the easier... God damn it, Faded Fox. What are you doing with my shirt? I demand answers. What are you doing with my shirt? I heard shouting, Grant. Are you right? We're bright to see what has just transpired. Oh, child, you're too young for the life that is being thrust upon you. If you be fully equipped for your journey, I pray you run now to Goriron on the library steps, for he is anxious to depart.
Yeah, I'll get right on that.
I reckon I am about as ready as can be. Woke up late this morning and left my sword in the barracks before going on duty. If you would get it for me, it's in the chest at the foot of my bed on the right side of the barracks. Quick now, before the gate warden catches me without it. You'll also find an antidote there. I think Dreppin needs one for his old Neza. Paying off guards for all the things you've stolen. I have not stolen anything. That is absolute blasphemy, okay? I have... Ow! Ow! Thank you for the 69 bits, bestest boy! I am now extra himbo. I am just a short stack voluptuous dwarf right now. You said on the right
Way
side,
ahead of
I
you,
believe.
boss.
Yep, this is it. Alright, take everything. And then...
Top of my to-do list.
Oh, I can, like... so yeah, thank you so much for the Hyper Himbo and the 69 bits, bestest boy. I really appreciate it. I don't know when the difficulty curve in this game is gonna go off when I'm on, like, easy mode instead of, you know, normal. Took your sweet time, didn't you? Gorion is a fool for trying to bring you up, right? And you can tell I said so, too. If I didn't know any better, I'd say this whole iron crisis is the result of twerps like you wandering off with papal swords. Here's 10 gold pieces. Now get out of here. I'm on duty. Yay, you gave me 10 pieces. Alright, hello, Watcher.
I should have joined the
That was one of the great spires, but why so many?
I should have joined the army.
I should have joined the army. I should have joined the army. You're about to head out? Not to worry, Luna. Thank you for dropping in very quickly. I'm sorry that I'm not, like, you know, super chatty right now, and I'm, like, just sort of blitzing through Baldur's Gate 1. And I'm doing it the classic way. Oh, hello, a dwarf.
By Moradin's
I thought I asked you to clean the rats out of this building yesterday already. Hop to it. Get in there. All right, time to take on some rats. Rat.
You got this coming! You got this coming!
There we go.
You got this coming!
Yeah, I'll get right on that.
Oh, no, those are cats. I need to be careful not to attack the rats. I mean, not to attack the cats. Nothing in there. What's in here? Nothing in there. What's in this? Ooh! A silver ring. Awesome. And then we got all kinds of flies here. Oh, this must be where he keeps his meat and wine. Alrighty, well, we killed all the rats. The rats are dead. Hello, cat. Bye, cat. Alrighty.
Yeah, I'll get right on
Ah,
it.
killed them like the rats that they are. A glorious battle unlike any this world has seen. Here's 5 gold pieces. Don't spend it all at once. My goodness, if this was like actual like times. Hey there, Grant. I see you're up early this day. Well, your father, Goriron, has asked me to strange favor. Seems like he wants you to learn some fighting and asked me to be the teacher. So I hope you brought your staff with you. Hostile creatures have attack with your fist only, empty if you only wish to knock your opponents unconscious. You don't have to worry about that with me, so use your staff. If you have magical abilities, try casting a spell at me.
Huh?
Quarterstaff, here we go. You did good, especially after Eric started firing those arrows at you. I'm sure your father would be proud. You should go talk to the gate warden if you want some experience in fighting with a group of people. Noted.
I'll get right on that.
I need to find something. Temple of Ogma. Weird. Hello, you.
These walls.
I am pleased to see that you have taken time to pay tribute to wise Ogma. One gold coin. Oh, and he can, like, cure wounds and shit. Interesting. Didn't know that was a thing. And then he can identify shit for me, I think. Yep, and that just loops me all around. Okay. Meow. Why are you meowing, Hendrix? If it's anything like other D&D games, they will probably wait for you to have a party member or 2 at least. Fair enough-sies. Hello there, Avalon. I know you're in here earlier. You're probably gonna talk shit about the fact that I'm using a short sword as a thief instead of like a dagger or something. Hello, Imowen. I'm surprised that stuffy old Goriron lets you away from your studies and chores. That old fiddle-faddle. I snuck off too. Old Puff-Guts Winthrop was looking for me, but I've got all day to do his chores. You have time for a story today, no? I can tell you don't. What have you been up to? I'm afraid I cannot chat today, little one. My foster father wishes me to prepare for a journey, but will not say where. I'm sorry, child, but I will not tell anyone what I am doing. I must go. I'm afraid I cannot talk today. I'll ask if you can go. Alright, there was like an identity.
Greetings, young one.
Huh? Firebeard has sent you to me, has he? Very well. Return this scroll to him, but then you must hurry and speak with Goriron. He is waiting for you on the steps of the Central Library. I assure you, child, it is a matter of greatest urgency. Alrighty. Let me just move all the way up here. And we're gonna go inside. You just like the redeem? Short sword? Valid. Awesome. Cool. So yeah, so I have got a... Actually, I've got a lot of things. Hang on a sec. I have 1, 2, 3 daggers, a silver ring, an identify spell, an antidote. There's my short sword, requiring 5 strength. Yep, cool. 1d4 piercing with a speed factor of 2. 1d6 with a speed factor of 3. But both are piercing. And then I also have on some studded leather armor and a nice silver necklace. I probably don't need to wear the silver necklace, though. Cool. My armor class is 3. So apparently armor class is 7. Dexterity makes it -3. The armor class -1 because of the single weapon style. -1 to missile, -1 to piercing, -2 to slashing. So yeah. If you donate 100 gold at a time, you get positive karma points. Nice! I ain't donating 100 points. I need to save up money. Who knows when I'll need... Okay, I need to talk
Top of my to-do list.
This guy. Top of my to-do list.
It's hard to find decent folk
I am glad to
nowadays.
see that the age has not hardened your heart towards an old man such as myself. I'll take all of your identity scrolls. I have a great use for these types of scrolls. Here, allow me to cast a little spell on you. It will protect you from any evil you might meet tonight. Oh, nice. It's actually a protect evil spell. It wasn't like, you know, him just being funky and being hit with an unidentifiable spell. I was worried there for a minute.
Way ahead of you, boss.
Way ahead of you, boss. Top of my to-do list. You need to sleep. Not to worry, Hendrix. Thank you for coming along. I greatly appreciate... Why does that girl look like she has boobies? Looked like that girl over there had boobies. Also, I should probably, like, adjust how this thing does its thing. Alrighty.
Oh, my child.
This is very unnerving, I know, but you must trust me. It is very important that you pack your possessions so that we may leave Candlekeep immediately. Hurry, for there is no time to tally. The keep is well protected, but not invulnerable. Please, Father, tell me where we will go. Alas, I cannot, for I have not truly decided yet. All that is certain is that we will be far safer on the move. Perhaps the woods might offer some secluded security, or perhaps the city of Baldur's Gate would offer... Hey, title drop, Baldur's Gate, right there. Would offer cover amidst its teeming throngs of people. I do not know where we shall end up, but I have a few friends here and there. I will think on this. My dear, you should know yourself well enough to purchase the gear you need. I've given you what I can spare, so hurry off to the inn. Use your skills and reference and buy what basics you need. Spend wisely. His prices are fair. Yep, I'm ready to go. Let's go.
If we ever become separated, it is imperative that you make your way to the Friendly Arm Inn. There you will meet Khalid and Jahira. They have long been my friends, and you can trust them.
Khalid and Jahira. Cool. Nice. Cosmic Wolf! Hi, welcome to the stream.
Don't worry. I'll explain.
Oh my god, there's so much dialogue going off. Oh shit, now I have to chase after... Oh, okay, cool, I'm following them.
Wait,
how's it going?
We are in an ambush. Prepare yourself.
Oh, thank goodness I'm prepared. Oh.
Receptive for an old man. You know why I'm here. Hand over your ward and no one will be hurt. If you resist, it shall be a waste of your life.
Kronos! Hi, welcome. I am right now doing... I'm trying to speed through... Oh, hi there, Arandaho! Ow, 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 ow! You killed me! You killed me! Look at me, I'm on the ground! You killed me. Anyway, I'm back. I'm okay. I'm good. How is it go? Can we get a shout out for Cosmic Wolf? Granted, there's probably everyone here probably already knows who Cosmic Wolf is, but it's still good etiquette to, you know, shout out and what have you. How is it going? Okay, you're perceived for an, you know why I'm here. Hand over the...
You're a fool if you believe I would trust your benevolence. Step aside, and you and your lackeys will...
I am sorry that you feel that way.
Get out of here!
Alright, cool. So yeah, I'm not controlling this right now, so... Oh, there's so much nonsense going on. None of my mods are on, it seems. Alright, there we go.
Dawn is especially cruel this morning. You awake with the realization that you have not been living some horrible dream. Ambushed, you saw Gorion cut down before your eyes, and even his powerful magic could not stop the onslaught.
I didn't know he was like super powerful or anything like that,
does
but
not remove the feeling of helplessness that now overwhelms you. Hand over your ward, the armored fiend had said. He was after you.
I think he's talking about this armored
but
fiend
why?
right here.
If only Gorion had given some clue. But now you are alone and lost. Candlekeep is near, but you will find no quarter there. The readers pay for their serenity with rather draconian entry rules, and without Gorion's influence, their doors will remain closed. You will not last long on your own with your meager equipment. Perhaps you can get some help from the friends Gorion.
No, I've not played this before. Okay.
At the friendly arm.
Sorry, technically not true. I played a little bit of it on, like, when I first thought, oh, I should see if this works on my PC and what have you. I did not get to this point. I fucked around in Candlekeep. So now we're in the new territory. Now we're at the part of, all right, we're in the game. I have no clue what's going on. Are you fucking kidding me? All right, cool. We have Imowen. Sorry, I followed you, but I never get out of Candlekeep, and those monks are such a bore. Never any decent coin in their pockets neither. I saw Gorion. I am so sorry. Kind of figured something bad might happen to you out here. How could you have known? Gorion did not even tell me. I accidentally read a letter on his desk the other day. Can't remember exactly what it said, but he might still have. It might still be on his body. Anyway, I'm not going to let you wander around here all alone. Never let a friend down. No, sir. Stick with you until you say otherwise, I will.
Yeah, I'll get right on that.
Alright. Can we, like, go immediately back to his body? Quick save, just so then that way... I don't know if the game is really expecting me to go the correct direction since I'm left-handed, and my first instinct is to go left. Australian traffic rules have encouraged me left is best. Destination unreachable. Travel. All right. Okay. So we haven't found the friendly arms thingy-majiggy. So we're just, you know, doing the travel as per this. Okay. That makes a little more sense. Also, I need to accelerate this mouse. Hang on a second. Gameplay. Mouse scroll speed. There we go. I don't want it, like, too fast. I want it just a little bit faster. What were you doing with the marbles on stream, if you mind me asking, Cosmic Wolf? Was it, like, just a fun thing of seeing, like, oh, like, who gets down the, you know, the windy, pipey holes first? Or was there, like, a thingy? Hello there. Well, a busy day for me today, indeed. Strange noises throughout the night, and now a plethora of people strolling about the woods. You do look a touch more hospitable than the last two I met, though. Well met, stranger. I am called Closet. Could you help me? My foster father and I were attacked last eve, and now I'm not sure where to go. You saw two people. I was told to meet some friends at the friendly. Perhaps they and the ones you were meeting the, I doubt they are the ones you seek. They do not seem the friendly type and are far afield of the inn. If you wish to meet them, I left them not a moment ago just up the road. You'll have to pass them anyway if you wish to go to the friendly arm. There is a crossroads away to the east, and the inn is north of that. Thanks, I will be on my way. Awesome. Okay, so W does that, and then this is arrow keys. Hello?
You already be disturbed. Now leave me.
Hello there, kid. Rather strange place to be wandering, ain't it? My companion has something to say to you.
You're a queer. I've done had enough of this.
Yeah? What do you want? Top of my to-do list.
A child wondering the wordliness? Surely you must be none too bright for traveling these roads. I told you looked a bit scuffed, too. Fine pair of troubles all your own. Indeed. I can offer you healing potions, if you wish, as a token of goodwill. I prefer to manage on my own. You do not trust us? I'll not be insulted by this whelp. Now, Mantaron, had I still Had I just been attacked, I might be leery as well. So be it. I shall not heal you. Refuse if ye wish. Neither shall I hold thee to a debt of honor for slaying my good intentions, though your conscience may. Just like all good people. Perhaps as payment, you would go with us to Nashkel. It is a troubled area, and we mean to investigate some disturbing rumors surrounding the local mines. Some acquaintances are very concerned about the iron shortage, specifically where to lay blame in the matter. You would be useful, though I'll not hold you to it. We are to meet the matter of the town. A man named Baron Gastkill, I believe. Your conscience be your guidance. I will join with you, but I must meet someone first. Perhaps you will go with me? We're precious little time, but it's best travel accompanied. Aye, we go with ye. Ye owe us for our time, though. Cool.
I'd be much preferring the cover of night, or this
I'll
blasted
get right on
daylight.
Alrighty. Have you so yeah, I haven't played. She knows what we are. Wait, who knows what we are? The Imoen? No, she says like there's a letter that might be on our body or something. Hello? Binkus? Sorry, chum, but I can't stop to chat. There's another caravan raided northeast of Baragost, and I must report all of these dire straits to the Grand Dukes. A messenger's work is never done. Alright. Friendly Inn. Oh, so Friendly Inn's to the north, and Baragost is to the south.
Ho there, wanderer. Stay thy course a moment to indulge an old man.
It's been 9 unto a tendry since I've seen a soul walking this road, and I've been without decent conversation since. Traveling nowadays appears to be the domain of either the desperate or the deranged. If thou wouldst pardon my intrusion, may I inquire which pertains to thee? Not to imply anything, but how do you measure up to your own standards? Pestering strangers about their mental state doesn't seem all that well adjusted to me. A fair bit of desperate, actually. Might you know the way to the Friendly Arm Inn? I was told I might find some friends there. That I would. This inn is but a short distance to the north, and its doors are open to all. I have no doubt that thy friend shall be there, waiting with open arms. My sympathies for any hardship the road may have inflicted upon thee, though I am certain everything shall turn out for the best. That's but I have wasted too much of thy time and said too much already. I shall take my leave and wish you all the best.
Top of my to-do list.
Lion's Way, Candlekeep to the west, coast to the east. Oh my god, we fucking dismembered that thing.
And become death, destroyer of worlds!
Friendly Inn to the north, Belagos to the south. Cool. Oh, Jesus. That wasn't... I like zooming out for like the whole traversal thing, but the minute we get into combat, I very much would rather zoom in. If this game had a method of being able to like quickly snap from, you know, that style to like... No, hang on. If you don't mind, please try to keep your voices down. There be beasties about with better hearing than thee. You seem sorry to disturb you. I do not intend for my words to scare you away. They were a simple warning of dangers true and mean as nothing more. The occasional chat is certainly welcome, but perhaps today is just not the day for it. The denizens of this wood seem to have grown rather aggressive lately. As gruesome as it sounds, they've probably become accustomed to humanoid meat. Can't really blame them, though. Too many people lost their ways to the iron shortage and have turned to the land for sustenance. Monsters and animals must find food somewhere. I'd keep your weapons at the ready as you travel. Friendly Arm to the north. Awesome. Alright, and friendly arm. 8-hour travel. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Oh, that's annoying.
What you got for me this time?
What you want?
You got this falls! Saves me the trouble.
Yeah? What do you want?
Jesus Christ.
That one's
Oh, that's not good. Jesus. Was I not supposed to go to the friendly fire inn or something? Your main character has been killed. Restart the game? Yes. Load it.
Yeah? What do you want? Way ahead of you, boss.
Like, travel. Ah! Okay, hang on. Sorry. Load game. Load. Autosave.
Yeah? What do you want? Yeah, I'll get right on that.
So, that fight, I think, was just a luck-based thing.
You have been waylaid by enemies and must defend yourself.
Oh, God.
Something
Damn it.
troubling you?
Abilities, what's this? Minor drain. Alright, let's see how it goes against this.
You spoke
what do
at
you...
me?
Huh?
You're a queer fellow.
This better be good.
What you got for me this time? Top of my to-do list.
What you want?
Hands up.
Yeah? What do you want?
Yep.
What need he dead?
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll get right on that.
You have been waylaid by...
Top of my to-do list.
There we go. How are you supposed to win against those conflicts when they pop up? Like, it was just randomly like, oh, we got attacked by bandits and are surrounded. Like, hang on. Is there like a thingy I can... Wand of Magic Missiles. You're a fighter thief with oils. And you've got Minor Drain and Chill Touch. But, oh my gosh, your armor class is way too high. Like, what is...
Way ahead of you, boss.
What's up with that?
I should have...
Welcome to the Friendly Arm. I trust you know the rules of conduct within. There are rules? What kind of rules? Perhaps rules is a touch too formal. It is unwritten but accepted that while herein, you will act with the utmost civility to all other guests. This is neutral ground, and all grievances are left at the gate. If the grievances come in, then you will go out. Enjoy your stay. Neat.
Hello there.
I'm in no need to speak with you. Get out of my face. Wow. Fucking dick. Another commoner. Hopefully I'm going the right way.
Hi, friend.
Tarnesh. Hi, friend. I've not seen you here before today. What brings you to the Friendly Arm? I'm here to meet some friends. Oh? You must be who I am to meet then. I'll take you to your friends. But first, I should be sure you are the correct person. Is your name GrantZeebs? Yes, it is. Perfect. You are indeed the person I seek. Hold still a moment, won't you? Oh, you motherfucker. So many people want to be dead. Why the fuck would you do this? Quarterstaff, some gold, a magic missile, armor, and a letter. Jesus Christ. Be it known to all those of evil intent that a bounty has been placed upon the head of GrantZeebs, the foster child of Gorion. Last seen in the area of Candlekeep, this person is to be killed in quick order. Those returning with proof of the deed shall receive no less than 200 coins of gold. As always, any that reveal these plans to the forces of law shall join the target in their fate. Cool. Dick. Alright, so we got a quarterstaff, which not any of them could really enjoy. We need armor. Ooh, Jesus Christ.
Hey, friend. Good to meet a fine sod such as yourself.
You better... Can't stand the way the roads are cut off these days. Me uncle's in Baldur's Gate and I can't get there to see him. How come? What does your uncle do? He's a mage and a crotchety old one at that. Goes by the name of Radicfast, though as kids we always call him Grumpleskin. Har, if he ever caught us at it. He'd cast bark skin on us so we'd wander around all brown skin and green haired and funny looking for a few hours.
Way ahead of you, boss.
I've limited the quotes. Sorry, Arndaha. I just realized what you just tried to do. The quote system has now been restricted to only subscribers and moderators now. Sorry. Oh, sorry. Subscribers, moderators, and VIP. Just turn yourself in, collect the gold, and escape jail. I think they want me dead. Pinch off the supply of iron, and after a while the farmers can't sow, the smiths can't forge, and by an army finds it disarmed all but clubs and staffs. That's the kind of strife that makes a land vulnerable. Hello?
Yes?
New face in this squandered place. Stand by my side and let's talk for a while. I was an apprentice blacksmith under Tarum, Furium, and Baragos. With the iron situation being what it is, however, I thought I'd best head somewhere else. Waterdeep, maybe. Tarum's having enough trouble making a go of it as is. Oh, will you be helpful?
Calm yourself, dear.
Something about you is familiar, child. Your manners remind me of a sage I know, by the name of Gorion. It's almost a slight on him, but I see it too. Juria! Mind your manners. This must be the child of Gorion wrote of so often. We are old friends of your adopted father. He's not with you. I must assume the worst. He would not permit his only child to wander without his accompaniment. If he has passed, we share your loss. Gorion, after... Gorion often said that he worried for your safety, even at the expense of his own. He also wished that Kalid and I would become your guardians, if he should ever meet an untimely end. However, you are much older now, and the choice of your companion should be your own. We could travel with you until you settled, help you find your lot in life. It would be a fitting last service to Gorion, though we should first go to Nashkel. Kalid and I look into local concerns, and there are rumors of strange things happening at the mine. No doubt you have heard of the iron shortage. You would do well to help us. It affects everyone, including you. We are here to meet the mayor of the town, Baron Graskill. My current companions wish to travel there as well. Indeed. Interesting. In that case, I think we should definitely travel as one. You can never be too careful about the dangers of the open road, wherever they may spring from. Cool. Awesome. What say you?
It's been dreadful slow.
None too many travelers have been through lately, what with the supposed troubles down south. So what can I do for you? What can you sell me? Alright, we're gonna sell some of these daggers. The ring, the necklace. So we're gonna sell those. And... Hmm. 1d8 slashing. It's one-handed, requiring at least strict strength. Okay. I'll probably get a longsword in due time. History of the Faithful Coin. Old tales that tell that luck plays a crucial role in each person's life. Okay. Could not care. Let's see. Bitter Black Ale. Nope. I hear some units of the Flaming Fist have been sent to Baragos. Seems like the Grand Dukes are getting real paranoid about Lots of people think that Ammon might be behind the iron shortage. Could be a prelude to war. Alrighty. Uh-huh. We got some places to be. Mm-hmm. Alrighty. So, we're going to go check out the iron shortage.
Yeah, I'll get right on that.
After, you know what? After we get some rest.
It
is nighttime, and it looks like there was going to be some thunder and lightning. I know how this shit works in DnD. They want us... Alright, we are going to go for... We're just going to go for some peasant stuff. We're going to rent out a room. You may not rest when your party is scattered. What do you mean when my party is scattered?
It's been dreadful slow business lately.
Hopefully that's not what they meant.
My inn is open to all who behave themselves.
There we go. The gent is rather peculiar indeedies. Rather peculiar indeedies. Alright, we've rested for 8 hours. It should be daylight now, and we should be a lot safer in traveling the roads to south.
You must gather your party before venturing forth.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll get right on that.
Alright, hang on. Gameplay. This one will be high. Done. Turn to game. Yep, there we go. Imagine if I could hardware accelerate this shit. Imagine if I could, like, accelerate the flow of time when it's, you know, moments like these. So yeah, we need to head south. We just need to make sure not to, you know, fuck up. Yeah, we can't travel to Belcos, so...
Way ahead of you, boss.
Alrighty, head this way. So yeah, we gotta take this path to go south. Wait, is there a... Hang on a second. Gameplay, assign keys. Hiding interface is H, the right interface is U. Location is X, hard pause. Zoom in, zoom out. Return to game is G. Okay, maybe it's G? Nope, I just have to keep an eye out for our party members as we travel down. This will be something.
You're a queer fellow. This way.
Something troubling you?
What you want?
Yeah? What do you want?
Otto_Valor
You
is
spoke
able to
at
say
me?
I have this game on my phone and I've beaten it like
Can I help
times.
you?
Oh, you can get this on a mobile phone?
Oh, I'm absolutely not in this.
I didn't know you can get this on your phone. That's cool. Nice.
Huh?
I just have this on PC because Good Old Games has been like doing, like they've sold this for like cheap a number of times, and I think I was able to get this either through Twitch Prime or something else. Baragos to the south.
Hey,
Must dash to Baragos, I must. Governor Kelithad must be told of the extra troops being sent his way. Baragos is to be garrisoned in case of Ammonian attack. Though Am has denied such intent, of course they would deny it. The snakes! Make way for the messenger! Quick save. What is this person?
You funny looking.
Don't you be getting any closer or I'll have Mom come and give you the belt. I don't mean... Oh, sure, that's what the other group of bandits said, and then they went and attacked a caravan I just saw leave. They were a bunch of liars, probably just like you. Get lost. Oh, joy. Oh, there's the caravan. Yes, please. I am not going to be above, you know, checking the wares. Always look out for numero. Yes, no, numero uno. That's the phrase. Hey, is always keep an eye out for numero uno. Okay, cool. We're not in a fight. Need directions? You seem a friendly sort, so I thought I'd offer my service as a guide. What do you need from the town of Baragost? I'm looking for a bit... I need some well-made weapons and armor. Could you direct me to Fortable Inn? We have many inns for the frugal adventurer. The Red Sheaf has basic rooms, though the clientele is a touch rowdy. There's also the Burning Wizard and the Jovial Juggler, which also has finer suites. The Red Sheaf is near the center of town, as is the Burning Wizard. The Jovial Juggler is a bit further along and sits on the south edge of town. What about a good smithy? We have the best smithy in all the realms. Terum Thunderhammer Furium runs the Thunderhammer Smithy in the eastern side of town. He has a few exceptional items as well, though you could also check Feldapost's Inn. They carry trophy items, though they had best be rich as kings. Feldapost's Inn in the west, closer to the south edge of town. Thank you for your help.
Yeah,
you did not help me whatsoever because I need to go talk to Zamea. That's who I need to talk to. Zamea. Excuse me, nose. Actually, does my journal help me? Wish to travel to Nashkel. Wish would have me accompany them to Nashkel. Should be the town of Nashkel to the south. Okay, so I need to keep going south. Because this isn't Nashkel. This is something else entirely. What's this place? Don't.
Your voice is ambrosia.
What you got for me this time?
Cities are always so intimidating. There's so many people.
Top of my to-do list. Yeah, I'll get right on
Mother
that.
said not to talk with strangers.
Okay, so really nothing worthwhile here.
Top of my to-do list.
Top of my to-do list.
Hello, mate. You look a friendly face.
Alrighty, so we just need to probably pass through town. No, I didn't see it, Furry Cures. Unless you're talking about the message that says that I must gather my party. I think I know how to do that. Hi there, Ripper, by the by. What is this? A giant-ass spire, it seems.
Jai-I.
Jai-I. I'm doing my best. I'm doing my absolute best. It's just my field of vision is not very wide. Oh my goodness, the amount of traversal here. God damn. There we go.
Fatboy_97 thinks you should do 20 squats.
Alright. Oh, this must be the town we need to go to. Alright. Let me do my 20 squats. Big stretch! Big stretch for the big boy! Alrighty. Here we go. Oh boy, this is gonna... Why am I so tired? Ow! 1! Thank you for the energy. 2! 3! 4! 5! 6! 7! 8! 9! 10! 11! 12! 13! 14! 15! 16! 17! 18! 19! 20! Thank you for the 20 squats. Yes, I do squats, Cosmic Wolf.
Sipping Time sponsored by Fatboy_97.
I do the squats, so then that way I lose a little bit of weight from all the McDonald's that I eat, and to hopefully try and get a dump truck ass. It's for these reasons I do squats. Oh god, it's nighttime.
Keep your distance. I doubt your motives are as you claim.
Yeah, I'll get right on
You
that.
live longer if you don't annoy me. Mayhaps even a week or more.
Bill goes to the north. Cool. God, there's so much traveling. Okay,
Yep.
so you're ranged.
This better be good.
Stop touching me!
Yes, oh omnipresent authority figure.
Yeah? What do you want?
God damn you, furry cures. You started doing the same? Hey, nice work, Cosmic Cure. How many do you do them on stream as well, or are you doing like a proper exercise regime outside of stream? What's your thingy-majiggies?
Did you see it?
Okay, so both of us failed to hide in the shadows. So really, select everyone and just start attacking.
My heart's really not in this.
There we go. Did I see it?
Way ahead of you, boss.
I saw it. I see them. Alrighty. So long as we stick to the roads, we'll be safer than any other kind of occasions.
I serve the Flaming Fist!
Flaming Fist Mercenary. Hello there. You there. You're under arrest for banditry and highway robbering. We know you're part of that bandit group we've been terrorizing the coastway. Give yourselves up and there will be trouble. You've got the wrong guys. We're not part of any bandit gang. Really now? Why should we believe you? Look, sir, we really don't want any trouble. Like you, we're hunting down bandits in the region. So you're hunting the bandits? Well, who hired you to take on the bandits? Or are you doing it out of the goodness of your heart? No one hired us. We're adventurers who are trying to help out the good people of... Alright, maybe I was wrong about the bunch of you. You're free to go. Whew, thank goodness. Where are these guys going? Like, Jesus Christ. You were terrorizing us and now you just like, what, fuck off? Jesus. You do it on stream, it's a redeem, and you do 10 of each. Nice.
Forward march!
What you got for me this time?
Grab the first 3. Grab this.
Way ahead of you, boss.
I care not. My blade will cut you down to size. My blade will cut you. I'm gone.
You've attacked?
What needs he dead?
You're a queer fellow.
For the fallen!
Have become death, destroyer of worlds.
Yeah? What do you want?
All right. Ooh. I will accept the boots. We'll pick up all this shit.
Ye spoke at me?
Just so then that way I can... Alright, so... You're already wearing studded armor. You're a thief. So you would benefit from... God, if I had a dagger, then it would have been good. It's not usable by those people. Boots are normally handmade by cobblers. Common boots are made by using a foam, but good boots are designed for the foot of the individual. I don't have a way to identify that, unfortunately. Alright, drop these on the ground. Because I don't have a good way of dealing with this, and I can't wear the helmet. I can't use the bastard sword. Oh, but he can use the bastard sword. Okay, I see what they're having us put down. And then a helmet. Meanwhile, you've got your bow. Alright, so you're fine. You don't have anything, so I'm gonna... So yeah, those things are gonna go on the ground. Quarterstaff and bastard sword are gonna go on the ground.
Something troubling you?
You can't wear any of those.
Nature's servant awaits.
Alright, so leather is an armor class of 8. 5 against slashing, 6 against piercing. Wait, so is leather armor or studded leather armor better then? Because I'm wearing studded leather armor right now. Like, hang on. So, no, because then it would make my armor class... Okay, so I'm trying to get this as close down to 0 as I can. You are currently wearing splint mail and a longsword. So...
Yes?
You would... Alright, so I'll have you hold on to... Oh, actually...
What you want?
Yeah, you're not wearing any armor, so you would benefit from some leather armor. That way your armor class goes down. So you're a 1. I Alright, so that sword is better. You're wearing those. And then... So you've got all this shit on. Yep, so studded leather armor is the better thing to wear. I don't have a... Wait, do you have an identify spell? What's okay? So you're a necromancer. Oh, you're both evil. Oh shit! I did not pick up on that. Oh. Oh. That is a bit of a problem. I didn't realize them two peeps were evil. Huh. Okay, so he's more suitable to short swords and slings. All right.
Huh? What you got top of my to-do list?
All right. Let's get the fuck out of Dodge and make our way south. I wonder if alignment is a bit important in here, especially since I got a, you know, an evil, like 2 evil peeps in my party. All right, let's see. Hi, Vortex Stag. Welcome to the stream. I am playing Baldur's Gate. I'm playing it on the easier difficulty, so then that way I can try and get through this thing like a little bit quicker when it comes to, you know, the whole getting this game done before Baldur's Gate 3 is a thing.
Spare no one!
Yeah? What do you want?
Yep.
Can I help you?
Yes, oh omnipresent authority figure.
Your voice is ambrosia.
If I must better be good.
Stop touching me!
Oh, my heart's really not in this.
Oh, Jesus.
What you got for me? Yeah, I'll get right on that.
I care not.
Yeah? What do you want? Yeah, I'll get right on that.
You're a queer fellow.
Huh?
Oh, my heart's really not in this.
What you got for me this time?
You got this coming!
Oh, come on. There we go.
You
all right. Okay, how much? So you can hold 120, you can hold 120, 120, 150, 50, and I can hold 200. Okay. So, you are going to carry a lot
You've
more.
a task?
Something troubling you?
And then this is not usable by clerics, druids, fighters. All right. So, what are you then? You are a necromancer. Does that mean you can cast spells? A mage who specializes in magic dealing with death may cast 1 additional spell per may not learn or cast any spells of the illusion class. What class is identified? Oh, it's of the divination. Cool. Awesome. Identify via... God damn you, I can't identify it if it's not... Cool. You can wear a helmet? Awesome. You're wearing a helmet. Short bow is going to go on the ground.
Nature's servant awaits.
And then
Your voice
you
is
are going to
ambrosia.
carry this. Identify with the... Oh. There we go. Identify with the... God damn it, are you telling... Oh, we need a rest.
Yeah? What are you way ahead of
We need a rest in order to change our thing. What is this game about? DnD. It's about DnD is the best way I can describe it at this present moment.
My blade will cut you down to size.
Saves me the trouble.
Okay. So he's dead. So
Yeah? What do you want? Huh? Way ahead of you, boss.
Cool.
Top of my to-do list.
Note to self, try not to have him get killed. Yum. Do I... Hang on. Yeah, wait, hang on. You can wear a helmet, so... You will drop your helmet and the bow. And the arrows, because that's not useful for you. Let's see. Bastard sword, bastard sword. The iron crisis sweeping across the sword seemingly knows one's finds now in jumbled heap of metal shards. Cool.
Nature's servant awaits.
Okay, so you can't use those things.
Can I help you?
You can use those things, however.
Yes, oh omnipresent authority figure.
Alright, so you will get the bow, and I'll put a quiver in you. So that's a bastard sword. Spiked thingy-majiggy.
You've a task?
Ye spoke at me?
You're a queer fellow.
Nature's servant awaits. Yes, oh omnipresent authority figure.
She's a bit... Oh, she's a druid. That's why she doesn't get all the extra weapon. Like, invisibility. Nice. So she can at least wear the armor. Protects against critical hits. Cannot be used by bards, mages, monks, thieves, and kensei.
Nature's servant awaits.
What you got for me? Yeah, I'll get right on that.
You have need of me?
Alright, you're gonna use a bow.
Yes, oh omnipresent authority figure.
What you want?
Yeah? What do you want? Huh? Way ahead of you, boss.
Yes?
Furicures 1221 paid me to say go suck a lemon.
Oh, you go suck a lemon.
Cut you down to size.
What you got for me this time? Yeah? What do you want?
You've a task.
Calm your rice patty. You calm your rice patty.
Way ahead of you, boss.
I will slowly but surely...
Alright.
Can I help?
My blade will cut you down to size. You're a queer fellow.
What you got for me this time? Yeah, I'll get right on that.
Okay, you're gonna...
Something troubling me. I must.
What now? Need your
Sure, Icy can be cute. Alrighty, hang on.
What you want?
So... So yeah, you use arrows. And...
Oh, my heart's really not in this.
Yep.
Huh?
And the river's
fallen!
There we go.
What you got for me this time?
Alright, pick up you, pick up you. Wait, did I pick up an additional short sword? No, I just picked up a... Alright, cool. What's this? Oh, that will be useful, actually. Hang on. I will drop you into here. So then that way I can...
I care not.
Your voice is ambrosia.
And then grab you for the healing.
Huh, you're this way.
And then...
What you want?
You grab 18.
Yes?
Yep.
Alright, so. Alright, so that's one set of arrows.
Can I help you?
Okay, we can just have the arrows all be one.
I care not.
That makes a little more sense. Just make it all one thingamadiggy. Why would we ever try
what do you
another
want?
way? Okay, so you're short bow.
You're a queer fellow.
Wait, what are you wielding? Short bow as well. And you're wielding short bow. Okay, so they're all wielding short bows, so I'll pick up a short bow.
What you want?
Gosh darn it. Yeah, you keep to that. Sorry. Sorry, I'm just sort of like reconfiguring the inventory. Cookie for that boy. Also, I should probably quick save.
What you got for me this time?
My inventory is full.
What need ye dead?
Yeah, top of my to-do list.
Alrighty, so more dead peeps. A necklace. Colleget's family. Damn it, I can't pick that up, can I? No, I cannot pick it up because I am holding too many things now. I'll put you on. You probably won't offer me anything like, you know, crazy. Necklace made of something or other. So there's a shell thingamadiggy, and then antidote, potion of healing. Drink that. Thank you.
Okay, that's it. I'm gonna spit in your mouth.
Don't spit in my mouth. I'm sorry I don't have any fun little like story anecdotes to tell you about D&D. Oh, I do have one story to tell you. One of my first sessions in Dungeons and Dragons was in 3.5, and this was back when we were in university, and apparently we had no time for anything else, so we all just decided to... Oh, I probably need to...
I care not.
Oh, yeah, she can barely carry anything, can she? Alright. Alright, hang on. Who can carry more? Oh, you've got fucking tons.
You
okay,
need it, I can, but try.
Alright, pause.
By your command.
Alright, so drop this, and this, and this. And then...
As you direct.
Oh, there it is.
Yes?
There we go.
You're a queer fellow.
Huh? Top of my to-do list.
There we go. Okay, sorry. I grabbed the wrong person previously. Ding dong. Bam. Sorry. The cookie was for me. Oh, furry cure. Sorry. I must have been like a little bit behind on the chat. My brain is...
Touch me. I might catch something.
Hello? Well, don't you just add to the local color. Quite the smashing bit of dress you wear there. I'll have to look into such sundries when I next attend one of Lord Cookie for that boy. When I attend one of Lord Ribald's full dress costume affairs. It'd be the talk of Neverwinter, I would. About the area south of here. I suppose you're asking of the immediate south, such as Nashkel and its miners. Unfortunately, no. I have spent no time there. I have busied myself with destinations more distant and have traveled to the great city of Chad, how do I read that? Athkatla. The city of Atkathla on one occasion or another. You should really consider visiting there sometime. 'Tis likely to be very popular in the future. None of this helps you now, of course. Cheerio! Excuse me. Ocean man, take you by the hand, that you understand. Da 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 dun. 2 hours in so far, and we're making...
With your hurried flight from Candlekeep barely behind you, the troubles facing the Sword Coast seem an unfamiliar blur to your fractured nerves. Gorion would not have you sit idle, however, and perhaps investigating local concerns will shed some light on your own predicament. How the iron shortage or the trouble in the Nashkel mines could possibly be linked to you, you have no idea.
Alright. Oh, looks like there's some mercenaries moving along.
Way ahead of you, boss.
Stand away, citizen!
I have things to do.
You may as well pack up and go to whence you came. Our miners to the east are soon to be closed down. No one's willing to work there anymore, except the foolhardy and the desperate. Something's down in those mines. Something evil. Identify yourselves. If you're seeking to resolve troubles, welcome. If you're seeking to cause them, kindly take it elsewhere. Things are not good here, GrantZeebs. Aye, what is good around here anymore? Our iron is rotten, and there is talk of demons in the mines. The lower levels have all been but abandoned until this crisis passes, and then there's the question of Commander Brage. They'll have stripped him of that little, but I use it well. He killed his wife and children in a rage one night, and all who saw him. Then he tore himself away and headed for the hills. He's out there, still and still we mourn, as much for him as that he's taken. Fee on you now. You have brought tears to the eyes of a soldier. Okay. Rasad?
See? Such feats are easy when you learn to focus their energies through the light of Selune.
I bet you can't do that while juggling an axe, a soup bowl, and a hedgehog.
Perhaps not yet. But as I continue to improve my physical and mental skills by turning my inner light outward, I may yet perform such feats. My name is Rasad, and I am a humble monk of the Sun Soul.
Nice.
May I tell you more about the Order of the Sun Soul?
Please do.
The Order of the Sun Soul was founded during the time of...
Hey, what are you supposed to be then? Some sort of...
I have come not to fight, but to demonstrate a few...
Oh, so that's how it is, eh? You prance about, pretending to be some sort of odd man, but you're just a...
I am not afraid to defend myself, but I do not seek out conflict without purpose. Instead, I wish to share the light of the Moon Maiden.
I thought you were talking about the sun.
You're some kind of simpering priest, just pretending you know how to
Simp!
fight, but really just begging for coins, yeah?
The monk is a simp for the moon.
A Sun Soul monk uses mind, body, and spirit in equal portions, but not to prove his martial superiority. Rather, he seeks to better the lives of those around him.
Yeah, save it for temple school, boy. If you're not gonna fight nobody, I won't waste any more time on you.
I guess enlightenment doesn't bring in as many coin as a good fist fight, eh?
You are correct. Many people find excitement only in physical action. You seem like someone who would appreciate the tenets of my order. May I tell you more about Selune and the Sun Soul monks?
I want you to
I
join
have
me.
had trouble making ends meet since coming to Nashkel. If doing so gives me the chance to help others find their inner
Perhaps
light,
together we shall prevail
be
to
glad
this
to join
benighted land. Nice. Oh, we need to remove a party member. Okay, get rid of this. Get rid of this creepy guy. Are you sure you want to remove this character from your party? Yes. Done.
Stop touching me!
You're letting me go? But we have shared so much. So many good times. This is truly a sad day indeed. Goodbye. So sad. Blah, 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 and all that rot. Come along, Montheron. You are my counterpart, and we shall not be separated.
What's your top of my to-do list?
Skull Inn. Terrace.
Oh, you haven't seen a man about this tall and this wide, have you? That lout.
Alright, in we go.
It may be a touch unladylike, but I'm gonna slit your throat, I am.
Just fancy my... Hi there, Akiris! Welcome to the stream! Hi, hello, hi! No, don't hit me with the squat so soon into the raid! Welcome, everyone! My name is Grant. I'm a variety himbo streamer from Brisbane, and I am going through Baldur's Gate, Enhanced Edition, by the by. I'm gonna try and go through the first two games on the easier difficulty, so then that way I'm ready and prepared for when Baldur's Gate 3 comes out. I want to take part in the Baldur's Gate 3 game, not because of the fact that you can fuck someone as a bear. It's for completely different reasons, okay? The bear fucking the vampire has nothing to do with the reason why I'm purchasing the game, okay? Stop asking questions about the bear fucking the vampire. Alright, 20 squats. Here we go. Big stretch! Big stretch for the big boy! Big stretch. Here we go. 20 squats. Yes, I am absolutely certain, Furry Cures. I do not care about the bear that fucked the vampire. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, damn it, you stole my shirt. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Thank you for the 20 squats. How dare you, Furry Cure, steal my shirt? If you were here just like a few days earlier, Alcaris, you would have seen... Excuse me. You would have seen, like, a lot more detail when I'm shirtless, but I've removed that because I was a bit worried. Just fancy my luck seeing you stroll in here, bold as day. I expected a hunt and a chase from the description, but who am I to argue easy coin in the purse? May the Lord of Shadows guide you swiftly to your death. I would first know my attacker. Why are you doing this? Who I am is unimportant, though my name is Neria. What I am is a hunter of bounties, and on your head is a lovely little sum. Does this satisfy your curiosity? I thought it wouldn't. No matter.
Yeah? What do you want?
Alright, let's see how successful... I am honestly curious if I can... Nah, fuck it.
Huh?
My blade will cut you down to size.
What you got for me this time?
Nature's servant awaits.
Can I help you?
Your wish?
I will show you justice.
I wonder how successful we're gonna be in. Ooh. I'm trying to like.
I understand.
No!
Alright, never mind. Guard. Find traps and illusions. Stealth. Nah, none of that will do it for me.
You have need of me? I can but try.
Yes, oh omnipresent authority figure.
Aid me.
Yep, the monk's dead.
Yeah? What do you want?
You've a task?
Yes? Oh, my heart's really not in this.
No!
How is there a critical miss? I just read critical miss at the bottom there.
Huh? Way ahead of you, boss.
$680 gold now. Oh, cool. Joy. And a club. A giant shield. A cool-ass helmet.
Can I help you?
What you got for me this time?
Do you want to tell me a story about trollops and plugtails? Please? I've done had enough of this.
Well, he's dead.
Yeah? What are you top of my to-do list?
He might have had something cool going on, but I guess we'll never know. Bastard sword,
suck a lemon.
bastard sword. You go suck a lemon, Blue. You go suck a lemon. Also, what is that new emote that you've got underneath there? Is that... No, that's not you. That's someone else entirely. Who the fuck is that?
Zeebs is a cutie.
No, I'm not a cutie. Do not listen to the Blue audio files. I am incapable of being cute. It's pure fiction. Alright, I'm gonna need to sell some things. Usable by Rasad. Lol. Well, that's not happening.
Never had rats. No,
What can you give me today? Cookie for the Elkiris. Here's your cookie, madam. Oh, Jesus. Alright, hang on. What's yours?
Hello, pal.
Move aside, I'll be on my way. I have no time to waste on idle blathering. Hard enough making a living without you slowing me down.
Okay, that's it. I'm gonna spit in your mouth.
No, unless I spit in your mouth first. Alright, well, fun fact, Ranseed is now dead. People just die, apparently. Alright, we're heading into the store. We're gonna sell some shit. And...
Way ahead of you, boss.
Hopefully get some resources back.
Welcome to my humble establishment.
What do you have for sale? Alright, first off, helmet, gone. Broken weapon, gone. Silver ring, gone. Leather armor, gone. Sell those things. Leather armor, sold. Helmet, leather armors, bastard sword, sold. Bastard sword, helmet, leather, helmet, sell. You'll keep the shield. Oh, you can identify things. Hang on.
Business has been poor, what with the iron shortage and all.
Iron shortage and all. Identify. Stealth boots. Boots of stealth. Worn whispers. In ages past, a king named Regard was renowned for the spies he kept. So skillful were they that no nook or cranny escaped their eyes, and maps were held for entire castles and towns. Eventually betrayed from within, the tools of their trade were taken and dispersed, ensuring that none could amass such a band again. Go engulf a lemon? He's not into that kind of stuff, Blue. You can't tell him to engulf a water lemon. Alright, moving silently, hide in the shadows, cannot be used by all those peeps, that's fine. Moonwalker thingamadiggies, nope. Alrighty, cool. I now have some cool-ass boots with some abilities. And my dagger is broken, unfortunately. Shame. For shame.
The customer is always right.
Fun fact, chat. The correct translation is the customer is always right when in concerns of fashion. The idea is that you don't, like, the customer isn't always right, so, like, things on, like, how to cook and such like that. But when the customer wants to pick on, you know, what they want to wear, what they want to have around the house for decoration and such, that is when they are correct. That is when the customer is right in matters of fashion. Short sword, please. And some arrows while I'm at it. That way I have the arrows at the ready for my own thingamadoogies. All right. I found a merchant eager to buy winter wolf pelts. Speak to Nashkel.
Way ahead of you, boss.
For the glory of Om!
Hello there. I recognize Jaria and your group, so you must be the adventurers I was expecting. I am Baron Gaskill, Mayor of Nashkel, and I am happy to welcome you. I am sorry we had to meet under these circumstances. What exactly is the trouble here? I can't believe you haven't guessed. Have you heard of the iron shortage? Well, Nashkel is the thick of it. Our mines are all but shut down because the workers continually go missing, and what ore we do get is tainted somehow. I would send in the town guards, but we need them to protect our citizens from the bandits that raid our caravans. We need you to find out what is wrong in the mines southeast of town. I'll need an appropriate word for my thingy. When the customer goes Karen mode, that's when they're not. Yeah, no, so... If the gratitude of an entire town is not enough, don't worry. You will be rewarded in gold. If that is all you desire, go now and do what you can. Sounds good. Awesome.
Oh, you have returned.
I would not think of making you wait for a moment for your just reward. When council told me that they had procured Grey Wolf to rid of the Tonguin, I knew we would expect swift justice. I would not have predicted such But who else could be striding into town looking as you do? Please accept this meager sum of 200 gold pieces, as well as the... I am not this grey wolf. Keep your money. It's not mine to take. I almost gave 200 gold pieces to a complete stranger! The captain best not hear of this. He'd have my hide. Thanks for your honesty, stranger. Lol.
Good on you if you saved the day.
Gorion would be proud of your actions.
Oh, Minsk?
Stand and deliver.
Let us pass, strangers, for we have not much time to waste. Yes, I'll ask them, Boo, and I go to rescue my charge. Deny here. You may aid in our victory, you wish. There is glory enough for all. This is Minsk. He's from the... Hang on a second. Opera GX, hang on. Oh, Jesus, hands are doing a thing because the CPU or the program responsible for it decided to break. Give me a moment. There is a, oh my god, there's all these, like, Dr. Pepper barbecue sauce thing. All right, hang on a second. Minsk. His name is right there, and I misspelt it. Hang on a second, chat. Hang on a second. This guy. It's Minsk. Minsk and Boo. They were in the DnD thingy. Where the fuck is Boo? Boo is a fucking... Blue. This is a very old game. They probably didn't have the resources to render the fact that Boo was going to be with him. Look at this. Go for the eyes, Blue. Look at him. Oh my god. It looks so... It's so funny. Oh my gosh. Go for the eyes. Oh my... Hang on. Minsk meme. Hang on a second. What are some images we can get of Minsk? When the DM invents double damage, when you beat it twice in a row anyway. The ranger who loves to smash and smite evil. The look on his face when he tells his animal companion to go for the eyes. His animal companion. Excuse me. The AD Nasus, my 2020 Boo with haste and trample. I get some Chris-defined protein hunk. Just look at this. This has the same energies as the... Hang on a second. As the Eminem throwing hamster. It has the same energy as this. Just boom. Just throwing a fucking... Look at this. Woe plague be upon me. Woo. You have the Minsk card? Hey, nice work. All right, hang on. Turn that off, turn that on. All right, here we go. Look, there's Minsk right there. Hang on a sec. Let me zoom in for Blue. Let me zoom in for Blue. Look. Do you see him? He's right there. Oh, hang on. He's right there. You see him, Blue? He's right there. He's so small. He's a hamster. Of course he's small. He's a fucking hamster. You may aid in our victory if you wish. There is glory enough for all. The classic dilemma of the damsel. How could anyone decline? Take heart, fellow adventurers, for you have curried the favor of Boo, the only miniature giant space race hamster in the realm. Oh my god. Oh, I forgot. That's why he loves Boo. It's because he thinks he's a space hamster. My friend and companion, ever since my head wound, he would lead us to victory. Onwards to the Knoll stronghold in the west. Tarry not, we must go soon.
Huh? Top of my to-do list.
Top of my to-do list.
Leave me be, or the guard will have you.
All right. Where are we? Hang on. Where's the edge of the map so I can get out of here? It's just so fucking small. Oh, locked. That's why.
What you got for me this time? Way ahead of you, boss. Yeah, I'll get right on that.
Yep. I care not. I've done had enough of this. This way.
Yeah? What do you want? Yeah, I'll get right on that.
Stand away, citizen!
We represent the Council of Six. You are accused of thievery and must surrender yourselves to the mercy of the law. Damn it!
Huh?
I'll not have a part in this. Change your course, lest I be forced to
Way ahead
stop
of you,
you.
boss.
I don't like the way this group is turning out. Better leadership might help.
What you got for me this time?
You're a queer fellow.
Nature's servant awaits.
You have need of me?
Cool one, sir. Full plate and packing steel.
Yeah? What do you want? Huh? Yeah, I'll get right on that.
Council of the Six can't do
I'll
jack
get right
shit.
on that.
Awesome,
What you got?
cool.
Top of my to-do list.
Alrighty, Alright, so I got more arrows, which is nice. You've got boots that you can't wear, and a club. Alright, so protect against critical hits. Protect against critical hits. Armor class 5. Armor class 7. Yeah, okay, so we want a lower armor class is what we want. So that makes it studded. And then... So you got the medium shield. What do you got? You got a two-handed sword, and you got Boo. Amazing. Alright, so you dropping that on the ground. I'll drop this on the ground as well. So then that way you have the...
Yes,
Yes.
omnipresent authority
Yeah?
figure.
What do you want?
You point, I punch.
You point, I punch. I wasn't meant to pick that up.
Less talk, more fight.
There we go. There we go. And we put him in better armor this time.
Huh? Way ahead of you, boss.
Excellent. Have you played this game before, Blue? The... Coming up?
Yeah, mate.
Go no further. I require the services of your group.
Not the best specimens, but perhaps a more bestial
nicely.
touch is what my plan requires. I would hire you to kill a treacherous enemy, understand? She dine here. She bad. You kill. Stomp your foot once for yes, twice for no. Why would you ever kill? Frankly, yes. It is no concern of yours. You need but perform the act with no questions. What is your answer? Without knowing the facts, I refuse. Seems I shall have to find others more accustomed to confidential work. Be gone. I have no time for you. Yep, cool. Nice. Don't give a shit.
Hey!
Hi, I'm Nuber. Nice place, huh?
Hey!
So, kill any monsters yet?
Hey!
Ever been to Baldur's Gate? I've
Hey,
been to Baldur's Gate. I think I stepped in something. Yeah, this guy's weird. The Realms retro PC game is not your specialty. Look, I'm gonna be real. I 100% expected, because of your, you know, affinity for the old and, you know, this sort of stuff, that you probably would have played this as well, or at least planned to play it at some point. Where the fuck am I going? Also, why is Nuber, like, following us? Also, where am
I don't like the way this group is turning out. Better leadership might help.
Also, I'm gonna need to figure out how to, you know, revive this guy. Rasad is dead. Or at least I think he is.
Hey! Get out of me way, you crummy loghead!
Great. Oh, I can just go to this edge. And then... Alright, so let's head to the Knoll Stronghold.
Way ahead of you, boss.
That way we should be able to... Because I want to help out Minsk and Boo. You have an affinity for the old, but consoles are your main areas. Yeah, valid. I don't have, like, a strong affinity for old games. Like, half the reason I'm playing this is because, A, they have it as an enhanced edition. So, I don't know if I would play, like, the original one where it had, like, you know, the much higher difficulty and what have you.
What you... Way ahead of you, boss.
Hopefully I'm going the right way. Would be a shame if I wasn't. Oh god, what if I'm going the wrong way?
You have been waylaid by enemies and must defend yourself.
Way ahead of you, boss.
It's a polar bear.
Yeah? What do you want? Way ahead of you, boss.
What is a polar bear doing this far south? Cool. No problem.
Yeah, I'll get right on that.
More bears. Excuse me.
You got this coming!
Nice. So far, no big issues. So yeah, I feel like my affinity is like going into franchises and trying to do the... I feel like my affinity is like just wanting to just go head first into franchises and be like, yes, let me absorb this. Sure, I don't have anything better to play for the next 6 months. Let me play Kingdom Hearts and, you know, get up to like about 80% proficiency on what the story is about and such. So then that way when Kingdom Hearts 4 comes out, maybe I'll be interested in playing it. Thank goodness someone came by. There's a bear on the other side of that bridge and it's coming this way. Please hold it off. I will give you anything. All right.
Oh, my heart's really not in this.
Oh, that one's gonna leave a mark.
All right, hang on a second. There we go. Okay, so that's how I can like transfer items between peeps. That's a lot better to do than my previous way, which was like literally dropping it in people's laps and shit. All right, here we go. We should probably...
I'll not have a part in this. Change your course, lest I be forced to stop you.
Why are you saying this shit? Like, why are you making it sound like you have a choice? We're totally fine. Information. Stats. Most powerful vanquished was Griblings. Time spent with party has been 4 days. Total experience value in the party is 2% in the chapter. 16% of total kills. 35 experience from kills. 1 kill. Cool. Making our way through the wilds, having no idea where to go as I make my way to a stronghold. Dun 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 dun. Oh my goodness, here we are. Let's hope that this is the right.
By enemies and must defend yourself.
Way ahead of you, boss.
Oh god, fucking damn it.
Calm your rice paddy.
You calm your rice paddy. I don't have any issues. Alright, 2-hour travel. Here we go.
Top of my to-do list.
Thankfully, Miss Minsk is not dead yet.
Now, me hungry. Stop! You go nowhere. This our bridge. You pay to walk it.
Go for the eyes, coming! Go for the eyes! Rask!
I'll not have a part in this. Change your course, lest I be forced to stop you.
Yep.
You've a task?
Can I help you?
Cool one, son.
Huh? Way ahead of you, boss.
Alrighty. Welcome back, Code. Hopefully you're doing alright. God, I know people told me that it was going to be like this weird, like, you know, hands-offy sort of thingy-madig. Boo is the best miniature giant space hamster. That's just a space hamster then. If he's a giant miniature space hamster, he's just a space hamster. If he's just a miniature giant space hamster, sorry, he's just a space hamster. There is nothing demonstrated to tell me that he's meant to be a giant space hamster.
My heart's really not in this.
It's absolute fucked.
You point, I punch.
Alright, let's see. Is this better? Nope. Nope. One D5, speed of 5, strength. Okay. It's 1d10. Slashing or piercing, whichever is better. Lol. Requires 13 strength. Cannot be used by thieves. Noted.
What you got for me this time? Yeah, I'll get right on that.
So we're trying to get into like a stronghold and rescue a damsel. Which I think is just there.
You got this coming! Let's talk more fight. Butt kicking for goodness!
Yeah, way ahead of you, boss.
Butt kicking for goodness. No, he's a miniature giant space hamster. Agree to disagree. Am I going the right way? What am I? Okay. Okay, let's try this way. This is a very long, convoluted way. Oh, cool. I think I took a wrong turn. Look at the Discord. Am I going to be given spoilers? Alright. That's funny. Throwing boo at Tyranids. Wrong franchise. This is Dungeons and Dragons, not Warhammer. Warhammer is where the Tyranids are from, Blue. You need to start properly separating the different franchises. You've been playing Magic too long, thinking that you can somehow get D&D characters and Transformers playing with each other. You can throw boo at Tyranids. Again, you've been playing too much Magic the Gathering. I worry for you when the Doctor Who series comes out, or if you start, you know, toting on about the One Ring. There we go.
Huh? Top of my to-do list.
Oh, that's why, because, like, everything is... They can be made of leather, metal. Okay. I don't know what those are made of, so I am not going to test my... Oh, cool. You can level up now. Okay, you got none of that nonsense. Fatigue. Not good. And then there's me. Okay, now we're going the right way. So long as we get the gold, we're good. And the party gains experience each time we take on these things, which is nice. It doesn't look like we can go up those stairs. Oop.
Go for the eyes, fool! Go for the eyes!
Hey, he said the line!
Go find a place to die.
You got this coming!
Is one of your dudes dead? Yes, two of them actually now.
Way ahead of you, boss.
I still don't know how to save the first guy that's dead.
Me now. Me hungry. Stop. You go nowhere. This our bridge. You pay to walk it.
Go for the eyes,
coming!
Go for the eyes!
God's really not in this.
Nice.
You're a queer fellow.
Cool one, sir.
What you want?
Alright, which one is a potion of healing? That's an oil of speed. I'm gonna put the arrows in you. Wand of magic missile will put you in quick items, just so that you're not taking up my inventory. Potion of invisibility. Go, and then
Yeah, top of my to-do list.
Here we go.
I must rest. a bad taste of unmercy.
Why must you... We haven't even gone that far. Go for the eyes, Blue. Go for the eyes. I'm just going up here, just so then that way I can kill the other knoll that's up here. He was up here. Okay, I guess he's not, so... Back down this way we go. But yeah, this guy right now, he's dead. Don't know why. Actually, I do know why. Don't know how to revive him, however. Yeah. Don't know how to revive him.
Huh? Way ahead of you, boss.
Yes, we will Google this shortly.
Heart's really not in this.
You point, I punch.
Squeak.
What you got? Way ahead of you, boss.
Alrighty, time to get moving. Keep rolling, 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 rolling. What? Keep rolling, rolling, rolling. Huh. Oh, we can just climb up this thing. Okay, cool.
Oh, my heart's really not in this.
My
Get down to side.
For the fallen!
Oh, my heart's really not in this.
There we go. Oh, short sword? Yes, please.
Yeah? What do you want?
Alright, you will go to this. Yeah, you can carry a lot of things. You are going to be my brand new mule.
Huh?
Yep.
What you got from... Yeah, I'll get right on that.
Nope, that doesn't help. Okay, back out here. I'll do the Googling after the thingy-madiggies. Because I'm probably gonna need, like, some sort of, like, an actual, you know, tell-all guide on, like, how they want me to progress the story and how I need to, you know, deal with certain circumstances such as buddies dying. Excuse me. Although it's going to be very tempting once the stream is over to get back into Fortnite for whatever reason. I don't know why, but I'm very much obsessive with Fortnite right now.
My blade will cut you down to size.
Okay. So we're at the stronghold, and everyone is obsessed with Fortnite. I think it's because of the fact that like we've moved away from like we just want good quality games, and we keep forgetting Fortnite made by Epic Games and such like that. Oh Jesus! Move back down this way.
Go for the eyes! Cut you down this side! You got this coming!
I need to swap to my sword.
Huh? Go for the eyes, Boo! Go for the eyes!
My blade will cut you down this side.
What you got for me this time? Yeah? What do you want?
Oh, I thought splitting up in this.
There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, I'll get right on that.
Let's talk more fight.
Huh? Yeah, I'll get right on that.
Okay, cool. You are wielding a halberd. Nice. And you can wear a helmet, so then that way you don't take critical hits. Nice. Awesome. So yeah, I recently got, like, I got into it, like, partially because of the clone troopers and the battle droids, like, a few weeks ago. But I got into it more recently because I learned that there was, like, a quest line, so you can get, like, the mouse fella. But really, I should have been trying to go into, like, Fortnite a little more consistently once they started giving us all kinds of, like, you know, furries. Alright, retreat real quickly, and...
You got this coming!
Can I help you?
What you got for me this time?
You have need of me?
Yeah? What do you want?
Bloodstone, jade, and gold. Interesting. Alright, so my weapons are fine. Yours are fine. You don't really use too much. I'll put the halberd up here, see if you will actually use it. Isle gem, cold resistance, speed. I need healing.
Huh? Way ahead of you, boss.
My blade will cut you down to size.
Go for the eyes, Boo! Go for the eyes!
That's a problem.
You die. I swear you'll never hear the end of it.
What you got for me this time?
Uh-oh. That's a problem.
One sucks.
Okay, so that's 2 people that are dead right now.
Yeah? What do you want?
I'm gonna save it in a new slot as well. 2 dead.
Top of my to-do list.
I care not.
Nature's servant awaits.
Huh? Yeah, I'll get right on that.
Go for the eyes, dude. Go for the eyes. If I continue
My
this,
blade
I'll
will
never
cut you
look
down
you
to
in the eyes
size.
again. Choose carefully. I'll not let this come to pass.
What you got for me this time? Yeah? Top of my to-do list.
Uh-huh. Where are we? Nope. Nope, 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 nope. How do we go inside? Because that's clearly what's happening here, is that we're on the outside of this keep and we're trying to get inside.
Faboy_97 paid me to say Grant. Hey Grant.
Yeah?
I got a joke for you.
You do?
Why do you never see elephants hiding in trees?
Why?
Because they're so good at it. Ha 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 ha.
Good one. I'm gonna... Let's see, can I rest here? Nice.
Did you see it?
Did you
see it?
I did not, sorry.
Did you see it?
Level up. Nothing to add. Cool.
Huh? Way ahead of you, boss.
This could really do with a little better, what's the phrase I'm looking for? A better map. That's what this thing can do with. A better map is what it can do with. Otherwise, I am... Unless... Is this a thing to help me go down? No. Okay, cool. Nice. Cool. Revealing details is very helpful. Alright, so. This is a stronghold. Apparently there's a damsel in distress in this stronghold. Gerard and the bear. Rescuing... I have agreed to help Mintz rescue his friend. She is held captive at an old far west of... So this is... supposedly where she is. Is there like a different... Maybe it's down this way. Gosh, this game is gonna have me doing a lot of Googling. It's gonna have me having to metagame this. Figuring out where everything is, because... Oh goodness, this is gonna be fun, isn't it? Oh. No, doesn't look like a problem. Oh, there he is. That's why. Thank you. I was honestly shocked that we were able to rest in the stronghold as if it was like no problem. Because normally a DM would not let you just rest wherever the hell you want. They would have been like, no, you need to rest in a place that is like, you know, quote unquote safe. You can't just, you know, You can't just rest wherever you please. There is danger. Alrighty, let's have a look. This is gonna be problematic. I also need to look up how many chapters there are in a game, because in a 3-hour session I've done about 2 chapters.
My blade will cut you down to size.
For the fallen!
You point, I punch.
Yes, oh omnipresent authority figure.
Way ahead of you, boss.
Alrighty. Hopefully we get closer to finding their buddy. Alrighty. That wasn't helpful. Let's go. Find our companion. Let's go. Save Minsk's friend. Let's go. Find our companion. Let's go. Save Minsk friend.
Save. Oh. Grant. Save.
I have no clue what these guys are.
My blade will cut you down to size. I feel so cold.
Go for the eyes, Boo! Go for the eyes! Rusk!
Oh, you just had that on you? You could just heal me whenever the fuck you wanted?
What you want?
God damn it.
You've a task?
Yep.
That would have helped, like... far earlier in this whole, you know, dealing with enemies that got, you know, 1 or 2 of our peeps dead. God fucking damn it. Why are you like this?
For the fallen!
My blade will cut you. I've done had enough of this. I care not.
Nature's servant away.
Let's talk more fight.
Yeah? What do you want? Yeah, I'll get right on that.
How are you?
I feel so cold.
Oh my god. Okay, so that's 3 people dead now.
Huh? Top of my to-do list.
Not ideal. Far from ideal, this scenario. Oh, Jesus Christ. The fuck is that? Oof. Hey, I leveled up.
What you got for me this time?
Nice. Hey, I got skills I can level up. Awesome. I most likely will backtrack a little So...
Yeah? What do you want?
How far back can I backtrack? There's a quick... Okay, cool. So there's quick saves at different sections. The start of chapter... Okay, I'm probably going to go all the way back to the start of chapter 2, quite frankly. So... Oh my goodness, because... Oh, back. Back. I exited to the main screen. I'm an idiot. This game wants me to feel so fucking dumb, doesn't it? Okay, note to self. Note to self, this game wants me to feel dumb, and... sorry, I wasn't paying attention. Why were we going back? Soft locked question. We were going to go back because a lot of people had died, and I think that, like, I might, like, there's obviously a progression to this thing, and because it's an RPG game that's got some a little bit unforgiving mechanics, and we're trying to have everyone alive, we're most likely going to be doing backtracks and such. And it's going to be a bit of a big backtrack as well. It's going to go all the way back to the beginning of chapter 2, which means finding Minsk again, finding the monk, surviving the bar fight, this time without trying to, you know, knock her unconscious or anything like that. Probably once we get Minsk. And from there, going back to the Knoll Stronghold, because it looks like we have to go into a cave or something to save Ava, Minsk's friend. But all of that is going to require me going through a guide, I'm going to have the fucking strategy guide right beside me when I'm going through these first 2 games, because it's not that it isn't going to be that friendly of an RPG, it seems. I'm getting Persona flashbacks all of a sudden now. So we're gonna go have a look at who we can go and raid. Ooh, I know who we're gonna raid. It looks like someone... We're gonna go raid Wolk before it's too late. Hang on a second. We're gonna go raid into Wolk. They're working on a cow. They're working on a cow VR thingy-majiggy. So if you... So yeah, I'm not too sure if everyone has this emote, but we're going to go Himbo Saw Moo is going to be our raid message. Something quick and clean. Simple and clean, lol. We're going to go with that quick raid message, and we're going to go raid into Wolk. I will be back online tomorrow night. Tomorrow night is going to be... Final Fantasy 16, Final Fantasy 14. It's going to be MMO night. We're going to be going through more of that because I got to go through the patch content and what have you. Otherwise, I want to say thank you everyone who came along to tonight's stream. Sorry for the scuff of trying to go through this game and not being very communicative. I greatly appreciate those of you who are still here. And I hope you'll all join me as we go and raid into Wolcont as they go work on their curvy cow model. Bye for now.